Actually, it worked out pretty well.
All right. Yeah, that did. Maybe you should hit that one button.
There's always this challenge of getting Instagram and Facebook to start at the same time, but we just did it.
Yes. So we are on Real Life Lounge episode 14 today, still talking about the homeschool life.
Yeah, a little while ago, someone asked us, like, we want to find out, like, what does your life look like being a homeschool family? And we've done a couple episodes on this, but today we're going to talk about our actual like lifestyle. And I think that's maybe what the question initially was trying to get at, is like, what does your life look like since you homeschool? So we're going to talk a little bit about what we've noticed since we started homeschooling and how that's changed. We need to adjust camera. So one of the things,
keep talking.
Yeah. So one of the things that we notice when you homeschool is that we spend a lot of time with our kids, and that initially could be seen as like this, like almost a negative, like, oh my gosh, how do we spend this much time with our kids? And what we've come to learn is what a positive it has been for our relationship with our kids. And when we really think about their education and their upbringing, what's most important to us is our relationship with them. So homeschooling has allowed us to spend the time in conversation and direct one-on-one-ness with our girls, which is, I think, going to allow for like this flourishing of developing these tiny humans into great people and great, world citizens someday. So that's kind of one of the great benefits we've seen from homeschooling.
Yeah, when Maggie and I were at the Wild and Free conference this past weekend, one of the main recurring themes was that relationship is the basis for everything. So if you're already homeschooling and you're really struggling with butting heads on curriculum or teaching them and it's not going well, return to the relationship. Like, let go of all the stress and pressure. Oh man, we're really having camera issues today. Okay, you get to keep talking.
So yeah, Instagram's going to have fun seeing our camera flopping all around. If you're seeing us on Facebook, then we're good.
Oh, look, this
is like the beauty of live.
I just feel like it's tipping.
Yeah,
like
it's all off, and we're live talking this all through right now. Maybe we just hold it. I don't know. One of the things that we see. One of the things that we see a lot of families struggle with in the traditional like schedule of school life is the rat race of everything being so fast all the time. Yeah, we're in major.
Okay, we're done with Instagram. We'll just have to post it on there later because it was like stuck in like a medical emergency call mode. And
so many families deal with school all day long, quick transition into activities all evening long. Practice, picking up, running around. Where do we fit in dinner? Okay, yeah, now you have homework and get to bed because tomorrow you got to get up and do it all over again. Oh, and by the way, we never even got to talk to each other today. And a lot of our friends have that life, and that's just normalized. It's like, this is what we do. That's the life we both grew up with. Mm-hmm. We thought it was great. Like, we were doing all the things and busy, but when we talk to each other today, like the busiest either of us have ever been in our lives was high school.
And I wouldn't want to go back there. It was like for anything.
I was tired all the time, like crazy amount of things happening, lots of great times. But at the same time, like could I have developed in a better way if I was able to rest?
One other big thing that I took away this weekend that kind of ties into all of this, and I know we're all over the place, especially with the technology issues, but is this concept of a strong attachment creates confidence for independence. So when you think about sending our kids into the school system at 5 years old and they're gone all day long, and we really pull away from this deep attachment that we have from them. They're set free very young,
which some would argue is like, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, which is great. They're like independent already at 5, but it's almost feels like you're sending them out so early that they don't have this confidence to be independent later, because then when all these issues arise with social media and bullying, they don't have that. They didn't have as strong of attachment as they needed, so they lack that confidence to be independent and stand up for themselves. So this ability to homeschool and spend so much more quality time with our kids and be able to talk to them and nurture them and have this strong bond right now creates this really great confidence that they will be super independent and be able to go out in the world as young budding adults.
Yeah. I think we're already seeing evidence of the independence our girls are able to have, even though they spend so much time with us. So it's cool to see. Like some of the other like just lifestyle benefits that we've seen is like we'll take a vacation in non-peak times where no one else is on vacation, or we'll go skiing on a Tuesday afternoon when no one's going to be at the hill because we can. Some of those little things are awfully nice to be able to build into the choices we have in our days and how we structure. Like school doesn't have to be 7 to 3. Like for us, it can be what we design it to be. There's a lot of freedom in that. And we get to build in our dinner time where we have intentional conversation, and sometimes with other schedules like that's just not possible. It's like eating on the run, right?
Yeah. And the other thing with the freedom too is if you are not a single mom, but if you're doing all the homeschooling on your own because the husband or vice versa is working full time, you can still do a lot of those real life explorations and going on field trips and little mini vacations by yourself. I've traveled with the girls several times by myself. A lot of the homeschooling mamas at the conference this weekend talked about going overseas with their kids all alone and realizing that you really can do so many things if it's just you.
And so much of learning happens through life experience.
Yeah.
It's like when you quiz kids about years later, what did you remember most? Like they remember those experiences. And when you're locked into a meaningful experience, that's when you're open to learning rather than being in like a forced situation where you think it's stupid and you don't want to learn.
Yeah.
Right.
And so many of these mamas had kids that are either in high school or are moved on to college. And so much of the advice was homeschooling is not about recreating school at home. It's really about living a grand life and involving your kids in that. And it's amazing how much they do learn. And if you are someone that really is passionate about your kids going to college, it was crazy, the colleges that a lot of these kids have gotten into and their doctorates and all of these things. So all those things are still possible while living this really grounded, adventurous, intentional life that's not centered around like checking the boxes of the curriculum. And it's it takes a lot of time to unlearn that programming because we want to do all the things and make sure our kids are getting the best education, but that experience and that intentional time with them, creating that foundational relationship is one of the most powerful gifts of homeschooling. So
very well said.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day. We will post this on Instagram as well. And I have to make a quick plug. You probably can't see some Real Life Learner. This is some new apparel that we're going to have coming soon. You don't have to get this bright pink. Maggie and I love it, but there are lots of different colors. So keep an eye out for that. We're really excited about #RealLifeLearner apparel. And as always, keep the questions and ideas and suggestions coming. Be sure to like and follow and share. We really appreciate all of the love and spreading our message to your friends and network. And yeah, episode 14, Real Talk, real topics, real talk.
Yep. Real Life Lounge.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.